Welcome back, and this time we are going to spend some time in VirtualDub, which is the most accomplished video editor and has a few little tricks up its sleeve that I'm going to demonstrate this afternoon. VirtualDub is a Windows only program, and if you'd like to get a copy of it, there's only one place to go, and that's videohelp.com. And once you get there, go to the software and search for VirtualDub. And you will get the results in the bottom of the window, and you'll see there's a few different versions, and it's entirely free. It doesn't come with any adware, spyware or any nasties in it. It's absolutely safe to use on Windows, and the version that I recommend you get is if you scroll down here and you go for VirtualDub 2. And the beauty of VirtualDub 2 is we can see here it'll work on .mov, .mp4 and all sorts of other formats. So click on the portable version. It doesn't need to install on your computer. Download it and run it, and it's just the most amazing little program. And as I say, only get it from videohelp.com, which is the most amazing website for all kinds of video software, free software. There's lots of software. There's a great forum. It's one of my favorite websites on the net. So go off to videohelp.com and get yourself a copy of VirtualDub 2. And we'll open up VirtualDub 2, and we're going to work first of all on putting some text over video. This is something I used to do an awful lot of when I started scanning cinefilm, and to put a test clip online of a scan with someone's name over it. And let's bring our cat in, and this is my cat, and once again we can see this is in 1920 by 1080 by 1920. I'm just going to make that window a little smaller. Something I didn't mention yesterday, the reason you've got two windows, the left hand window is your preview of the source, and the right hand window is what you're going to see on your outputted file. So we can do some basic editing in VirtualDub, and let's say, for example, I want to cut off the beginning of the video. Well, my two marker arrows left and right here are going to mark in and out points. So I'm going to start there, and I'm going to scroll right through to this point here where she's fast asleep, and I'm going to add my right hand, and you can see this is highlighted now, and I'm going to go Control X on the keyboard and lose that segment of video. And then I might want to chop out another bit. Let's chop out this bit here from here. So we'll mark in, and then we'll come forward to here, and we'll mark out, and we'll do another Control X to get rid of that bit. And we'll take a little bit more. Let's chop out from there, and we'll chop to that point where she's laying in the sun. I mean, look at that cat. Isn't that the most outrageous cat you've ever seen? And bless her heart, she's ever so poorly. Control X to lose that, and then we'll cut it from that point there. We'll mark in, and we'll go to the end and mark the out point, and we'll Control X that out. So now we're left with a much shorter clip. So already you can see for free, VirtualDub can do some pretty amazing little edits on a piece of film. So the first thing I want to do then is put some text over it, and for that we're going to go to Video Filters, and we're going to add something called Draw Text. And this is not as accomplished as it would be if you were doing this in a video edit like Final Cut or DaVinci or Adobe, where you could put different texts along the length of the film. This is just going to apply one bit of text to the entire length of the film, which for certain purposes is absolutely fine. So we've opened our Draw Text, and the first thing we want to do is to write some text. So let's put some text in. And so far we can't see it. Well, at the moment it's out of the way of the screen, so I'm going to pick up here and drag down from the screen, and there it is, so I can see my text. Next thing I want to do is change the font, and you'll probably know that I like that one, and we'll make it 26 and OK that. And now using these scroll lines I can put this text from the left or the right. I can draw it across and put it exactly where I want it, and I can put it up to there. That will go across the entire length of the video, but that's not a bad thing. And as I say, you can put it anywhere you want. And we can go back and edit that if we decide we want to change it. We can come back to Filters, double click on Draw Text. The only thing you can't do is change the opacity, which is slightly annoying, but again, depending on the circumstances, you want to put some text over your video, it's absolutely perfect for doing that. From that point, I could then just choose my compression, which we know is going to be H.264. And if we come and have a look at the original video file, let's have a look at that. We can see the bit rate of that is just under 10,000 kilobits per second, 9870. Now we don't want to lose the quality of this, so we need to keep it somewhere around that figure. So I'm going to set this at 10,000, which is ideal for YouTube, 910, something like that. 9900, that will do. And that will help to preserve the quality. If you choose a lower bit rate, you're going to get a smaller file size, but you will lose the quality of the video depending how low you go. I suppose we could push this. Let's do a test. Let's put it down to 5,000, just for the heck of it, and because we can. And let's save that out as cat. We'll do it as a .mov. And we'll call that cat 500, so we know when we put it online that that's the bit rate for that one. And we'll save that out. And we can see that's saving it at 19 frames per second. And there we are, done. So let's have a quick look at that. And we'll pop it in full screen. It doesn't look too bad, considering the bit rate we just did that at. If you want some free video editing, and it is basic editing, but let's face it, you can do a lot with it, VirtualDub is just absolutely fabulous. So let's go in now and remove that text filter. Draw text, we highlight it, and here we can click on delete. And we'll OK that, and we'll see our text disappear. Let's just have a look at some of the other filters that are in here, and we will add, and let's just look through these. And there are quite a number of filters, most of which I don't use. They're pretty straightforward, self-explanatory, and when you highlight one, it will tell you down here what that filter is going to do. Let's look at RGB levels, and again we can click on show preview, and we'll make that slightly smaller. You can't really color correct a film with this because it's going to affect the entire video. Whereas in DaVinci Resolve I would go frame by frame or scene by scene, but you can achieve some pretty wacky effects with that. So there's a great list of filters that you can use with VirtualDub, and I just want to show you how we can go into different compressions, and you'll see here my list of compressors. If you want to go on and do further editing with this, I would always suggest you do it as an uncompressed, and there's several uncompressed versions here. The Logarithm is popular, but of course it's got to be compatible with your video editing. So VirtualDub is a really capable little editor for Windows if you want to do basic cutting out scenes. Even if you just used it for cutting scenes, it's accomplished at doing that frame by frame. The key point to remember is find the bit rate of your original video, and you can do that by right clicking, choose properties, and look in the details tab, and you can see here the total bit rate 9987, so that's 10,000 kilobits per second. So when you export it from VirtualDub, you need to make sure that the compression you're using is equal to or higher. Or you could make it much lower, you'll get a smaller file, but you will lose the quality. If you want to preserve the quality, at least have it the same bit rate or just very slightly higher. I mean, don't go mad, because you'll end up with something huge, which is unnecessary. So if we know this source video is at around about 10,000 kilobits per second, then I'm going to keep it somewhere sort of 10, 11, something like that, if I want to preserve every bit of quality. I've got mine on a single bit rate. There are different bit rates you can choose if you wanted variable bit rate, what have you, but I just have it set on single pass ABR, absolute bit rate, so it keeps that bit rate. You may not have this codec, but you could always look it up online, the VFW H.264. I love this codec, it does some really nice results. There we are. So VirtualDub is a very accomplished little video editor. So if you haven't got it, go and get yourself a copy of VirtualDub 2, and it's certainly a great little tool to have in your armory of video editing software. Thanks for watching, as always, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you again soon.